The whiskey seared my throat like a razor, and I forced out a laugh that wasn't mine. Even Jake's got 10 times more than you. I slurred, the words tumbling out like spilled wine. Loud, messy, impossible to take back. Tom froze mid-sip, his glass suspended like an executioner's blade. The low light in the living room caught his eyes and turned them into something unfamiliar. "How do you know?" he asked, voice quiet but edged with accusation. My stomach flipped. The joke, meant to tweak his pride, had sliced something deeper. The room thickened with the smell of oak and the bitter tang of betrayal. Tom and I had been married 7 years. 7 years of takeout at midnight. Playlists we both loved. Promises whispered in the dark. Lately, though, the silences had grown longer than the laughs. His phone buzzed at weird hours, always angled away from me. He'd started wearing that cologne again, the one he hadn't used since we were dating. Little things. Red flags I swatted away like flies. I told myself it was stress, the promotion, late nights at the office. But his question, "How do you know?" hung over me, tightening like a noose. I forced a smile that felt brittle. "It's a joke. Chill, Tom." My voice sounded empty, like someone else's. He didn't laugh. His jaw clenched, and he set his glass down with a deliberate clink that cut through the radiator's hum. "You've been spending a lot of time with Jake lately," he said, without looking at me. It wasn't posed like a question. It was a blade testing how far it could sink. Jake, Tom's college best friend. The guy who crashed on our couch after his divorce, who showed up with cheap beer and bad jokes for game nights. Jake with the casual grin, and the way his eyes lingered a bit too long, as if he thought I wouldn't notice. I'd never crossed a line, or so I believed, but Tom's tone made my skin crawl. Was he projecting? Deflecting? My mind started spinning, pulling at threads of doubt I'd been trying to ignore for months. "I barely see Jake." I snapped sharper than I intended. "He's your friend." Even as I said it, memories flickered. His hand brushing mine when he passed me a coffee. The way he asked about my day when Tom didn't. Harmless, I told myself. But Tom's dark, searching eyes made me question everything. The next morning the house felt like a held breath. Tom left for work without a word, his coffee cold on the counter. I stood in the kitchen, linoleum cool under my bare feet, staring at the mug. A faint smear of lipstick rimmed the cup. Pink, not my shade. My heart thudded, a dull ache spreading through my chest. I told myself it was nothing, someone else's mug, a mistake. But my hand shook as I opened Tom's laptop, left open on the dining table. Not snooping, not really. Just checking. His inbox lit up and a name snagged my gaze. Claire. No last name, like a secret half-whispered. Subject line, "Miss you already." My breath hitched, sharp and jagged. I clicked. "Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you. Same time tomorrow." The words blurred as tears pricked my eyes. Below, Tom's reply, "You're killing me." Yes. My knees went weak. I clutched the table until it dug into my palms. The room tilted. The fridge's hum swelled into a roar. I scrolled, each message a fresh cut. "You make me feel alive again." She doesn't suspect a thing. "I love you, love." The word gutted me. I'd whispered, "I love you" to him last week, curled against his chest, convinced we were still us. It all felt like a lie smeared in lipstick and late-night texts. I wanted to smash his mug, to fling his laptop against the wall, to burn everything down with him inside. Instead, I froze, letting the truth settle like cold ash. I lost track of time until the front door clicked open, and I flinched. Tom wasn't due home yet. Footsteps too light, tentative. Came down the hall. "Hello." Jake's voice, cautious and warm, floated through. I snapped the laptop shut, heart hammering. "In here?" I called, voice cracking. Jake stood in the doorway, flannel rumpled, hair still damp from a shower. "You okay, Sarah?" he asked, brow knitting. He always seemed to know when something was off, like he could smell it. I wanted to hate him for being here when Tom wasn't, for the way he made me doubt my own loyalty. "I'm fine," I lied, plastering a smile that felt like a grimace. He didn't buy it. He moved closer, close enough that I caught the scent of his cedarwood aftershave. and my traitor heart skipped. "You're not," he said softly. What did he do now? The question struck like a match to dry tinder. I opened my mouth to deflect, but the truth spilled out instead. "He's cheating." I whispered. The words tasted like ash. Jake's face went hard, but his eyes stayed soft as he searched mine. "With who?" he asked, though his tone said he already suspected. "Claire," I said, the name a knife. Jake's jaw tightened. He looked away, fists clenching. "I saw her with him," he admitted, voice low. "Last week at that bar downtown." I didn't want to believe it. The confession punched the air from me. He'd known and said nothing. "Why didn't you tell me?" I demanded, voice rising in betrayal. Jake met my gaze, raw, unguarded. "I didn't want to hurt you," he said. "I thought maybe it was one time." I didn't know he'd. He stopped, swallowed. "I'm sorry, Sarah." The apology felt hollow, useless. I paced the kitchen, bare feet slapping the cold floor. Anger flamed to the heartbreak, fierce and reckless. I wanted to make Tom feel this gut-wrenching pain. And Jake, who'd kept a secret, watched me fall apart, stood there offering apologies I didn't want. "What do we do?" I asked, voice trembling with rage and something darker. Jake stepped closer, his hand hovering near mine without touching. "Whatever you want," he said, steady but threaded with something dangerous. "You want revenge? I'm in." The word revenge crackled between us, electric, forbidden. I imagined Tom's smug face, unrepentant, and felt my resolve harden. "I want him to hurt," I said, voice stripped of the person I used to be, cold and precise. Jake nodded, slow, deliberate, never breaking eye contact. Over the next week we planned. Jake knew Tom's routines, his weak spots. We'd catch him with Claire and expose him in a way he couldn't deny. The idea thrilled and sickened me, a heady mix of guilt and fury. Each night, I lay awake while Tom slept beside me, a mockery in his snoring, and pictured confronting him, watching his lies collapse. The night came, a Friday heavy with rain and tension. Jake drove us to the bar where Tom met Claire. The neon sign flickered like a bad omen. My heart pounded as we slipped inside, hit by the smell of stale beer and perfume. In a shadow booth, there he was, Tom, hand on her thigh, her laugh cutting through the room. Claire, blonde, radiant, everything I wasn't. I stepped forward, Jake's hand at my back, steady and watching. "Tom," I said, my voice ablade. He turned, face draining of color, lipstick smeared on his collar. "Sarah," he started, but I cut him off. "Don't." The word landed like a final blow. Claire's eyes widened, but she spoke no defense. Her silence condemned her. Jake advanced, voice low and sharp. "You thought you could hide this?" He flung a stack of printed emails onto the table, evidence we'd pulled from Tom's laptop. Tom's face crumpled. Guilt and fear wrestled in his eyes. "It's not what you think," he stammered, but the lies sagged under the weight of proof. I leaned in, whispering something cold enough to cut. "You broke us," I said, "but I'm not broken." I turned to leave, Jake at my side like a quiet strength. We stepped into the rain and the world felt cleaner, sharper. Tom's pleas faded behind us, swallowed by the storm. But as we drove away, Jake's hand brushed mine and lingered a moment too long. My heart stumbled, a new, sharp question forming in the wreckage of my trust. Had I traded one betrayal for another? Rain blurred the windshield, and I wondered whether revenge had set me free or bound me to something far more dangerous.